And now it is my great pleasure to welcome you to a session dedicated to our sponsor. This year, the sponsor of the conference is the international journal called Education Sciences, which is an open access journal by MDPI. I would like to thank the conference sponsor for the support and for the initiatives that these people took this year. I would like to urge all the uh, participants of this conference to consider submitting their work, their novel work, and their extended work in the journal. So, with us, we have Milica Milosev and Mladen Rajic. I don't know if the names are correct.
It's close.
Close. Okay.
Hello.
Okay.
Yes.
Hello. The
Yeah.
floor is yours for the presentation, and we can hear whatever you would like to tell us.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much,
Christos.
and thank you
You
very
have an
much
excellent
for your
presentation.
yes, and for your for brief introduction. So as you mentioned, we are from International Open Access Journal called Education Sciences, and we are here to briefly give you the presentation of the journal and to introduce it to you. My name is Milica Milosev, and I work at I'm a section managing editor for the journal, Education Sciences, and here today with my colleague Mladen Rajic, we will present the journal.
Thank you so
Mladen,
much.
the floor is yours.
Thank you. As Milica already said and introduced, my name is Mladen Rajic. I'm a section managing editor in Education Sciences. Almost a year now, in a couple of days, so it will be an anniversary for me. Before that, of course, both of us had a great impact career in NGO sector, actually improving education as a science and as a topic itself. So it will be definitely a pleasure to talk about it today. Okay, and I will start first, and if my colleague agrees, with the first slide on our presentation. I hope that everybody can see the screen that I shared. Okay, thank you.
Yes,
A little
perfect.
about our journal. Education Sciences is an internationally peer-reviewed open access journal, which is under the establishment of MDPI as a publisher. And actually to tell you that we are today, not today, but this year is a 10-year anniversary for our journal, 10 years of existence. Throughout that period, our dear editor-in-chief, Professor Dr. James Albright, was in the past years with us, and we hope he will be there in the future, of course. In that period, we actually acquired 129 editorial board members, with addition of 110 topic board editors. So it is a big family, as you can see. And in the past 5 years, which have been really successful years for our journal, we have been indexed throughout several index bases. The recent one is 2.1 site-core on Scopus index basis and ESCI from Web of Science, ERIC, and etc., etc. And in this past 10 years, we established 11 volumes and advanced throughout the next timeline I will show to you. In 2050, we applied a double-blind peer review policy. We will talk about that later with my colleague. Of course, as I said, in 2016, 17, and 18, we were indexed throughout many different index spaces. And a good thing happened in 2020. We actually dissolved our journal into several sections. We will explain further those sections in the further slides. And in 2021, this year, we established a teacher education section, which is one more on the many others that we established. And we, as we said, ranked Q2 rank in Scopus citation indexes. more of our history you can find on the link below. You can see that, and the presentation will be available to you after this timeline, of course. Okay, I will let the floor to my colleague here.
Thank you. So I'll talk briefly about the aims and scope of the journal. As my colleague already mentioned, Education Sciences is international open access journal that publishes extended full-length research papers, and of course it has scope in addressing the current issues in education. Our main aim is to encourage researchers to publish their research in as much as detailed as possible. Regarding to that, we are taking, let's call it, advantage to, as we're online journal, to use so that researchers can use audio, video, or some dynamic graphic displays, interactive sessions, etc., and that can be included in their work, in the article or research. So features, some of these features can be presented as a single article or in a serial form. Next slide, please.
Sure.
Thank you. So our main scope is related with education, of course, and here are some of the, we mentioned here some of the main scopes, such as educational history, policy, curriculum studies, pedagogies, learning and teaching, teacher education, and so on. Thank you. In journal history part, you could see that from 2021, from 2020 actually, our journal was divided into sections. This happened because of the growth of the journal, and we decided to divide it into sections. So you can find, you can submit your work in some of these sections, such as technology and enhanced education, curriculum and instruction, special education, STEM education, higher education, early childhood education, teacher education, and there is a general section if you do not want to submit a paper to any of these sections that I have mentioned. Inside of the section, let's say like that, there are special issues. Maybe some of you have heard about that before, and my colleague will briefly mention what special issues are.
Thank you. We represent the special issues as a collection of papers based on a particular topic. The aim is, as you can see, to build a community of authors around these topics and readers, of course. Those special issues are led and edited by guest editors, which are experts of the subject that is at hand, and they oversee the entire editorial process from the beginning till the end, to the publishing part. As you can see, Christos is pretty much familiar with our process. And on this slide, you can see many different co-guest editors which are actually included in the processes that are connected with the special issue. On this side, we have a small summary or introduction to the special issue at hand, provided with the keywords, of course, that are interconnected with our conference today, and of course, the submission deadline. Many other information could be found at the link provided below to the special issue, of course. If your special issue provides 10 or more papers inside it, you can actually call to create a printed edition of your special issue. And I will have the a small video here, so please just nod with your head if you can hear it and see it. Okay. Okay, thank you for this. Okay, that's the second. I'll provide the next slide. Sorry. There you go.
Unfortunately, we couldn't hear the music in the video, but it was a pretty catchy music. You can find the link also on the MDPI official website. So how publishing process looks like in education sciences? As we already said, it is education sciences is open access journal, which means that it has unlimited and free access for readers. We already mentioned that it is double peer review, which means that during the peer review process, authors are not familiar, they do not know who the reviewers are, and vice versa. Reviewers do not know who are the authors of the journal. Median processing time of the paper is 36 days, and we're also it is also fast publication, which means that acceptance to publication is undertaken in 3.7 days. Discounts on article processing charges. This APC or article processing charges means that authors are paying for the whole process of publishing the journal. This is because we're open access and because we for the readers is open for the readers. If you belong or your institute or university belongs to the participants with the MDPI institutional open access program, there are certain discounts for the APC. Also, we provide Microsoft Word and LaTeX templates that can be found on our website, which makes easier for the scholars while submitting their papers and preparing it for the submission. We also offer English editing services. When the paper is accepted for publication, then our English editing office will provide the service of editing the English language throughout the manuscript. Aside from this, we also promote the papers once they're published. So some are connected. Papers and authors' profiles are connected and linked with ORCID, with site profiles, also on social media platforms. Next slide, please. And here is a flowchart how editorial process looks like from your submission. From once authors submit, then the paper, the manuscript goes on a pre-check. If it's approved for peer review process, then it goes further. So, and we're asking our reviewers to do a review of the manuscript. After that, after their review, paper goes to a revision. So depends on the reports. It goes on minor or major revision. Once the paper is accepted, then we provide copy editing services, English editing services. Authors do the final check, actually the proofreading of the manuscript, and finally we are sending to our production team to form it to be published officially on the website. And of course we have invoicing section, the APC charging, and the publication when the paper is officially online.
吴老师，我仔细看了一下你的答案，有几个问题我们要回答。
Somebody is online with us. We can hear it, but it's never mind. As far as of the journal statistics, we can hear the publication chart here in the past 10 years, and actually in the last 5 where our journal actually expanded. As you can see, in 2017, we have nearly 100 published paper per year, which increased, as you can see, to the 2020, where we have 400 published paper, and we hope that number will increase in the next years to come. Regarding to our awards and promotion, in the last 2 years, Education Sciences Journal established 2 awards. One is for the Best Paper Award, and the other is for Outstanding Reviewer Award. The criteria is different for those two rewards, but actually, as you can see, it's based both on quantity and quality of the provided manuscripts and reports from the other side. As you can see on the right part of the slide, we have a couple of social media channels which can be used in order to contact us further and to acquire more information about the journal. We are available on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, academia, and of course you can go through us via email, of course. Regarding to the conference special issue, I will let my colleague tell something about that in a couple of minutes that are rest.
Thank you. So as it was mentioned in the beginning of our presentation, we are here because we are one of the sponsors for this year's ITS, and we are sponsoring the Best Paper Award of the ITS 2021. This sponsorship includes a 500 euros prize for the best full paper, free publication for another best paper to the journal. This paper research should be further extended by 50%, and a 30% discount of the journal publication fee for all of the ITS 2021 papers that are submitted to the special issue of the journal. With this, I would like to thank the organizers for welcoming us, for opportunity to present our journal, and to be part of it as a sponsors. And I would like to also to thank everybody who stayed here to listen to our presentation. And with this, we're closing our presentation, and I wanted to open the Q&A session. You can ask us, please feel free to ask us anything regarding to submission to Education Sciences Journal.
Thank you for the great presentation. Indeed, it was very important to listen all this important information about the journal. And I can see that there are some questions. Professor Cherry.
Yes, thank you for your excellent presentation of the journal. Of course, we are very glad to have your support and to know of the existence of the journal. I would like also to highlight that MDPI is a very active group of initiatives, editorial initiatives. The last paper, full paper that we published is on MDPI, an MDPI journal, and the process was excellent. The only detail that we were very glad about was that we were invited, so it had no cost for us to publish on MDPI. But this is a detail. I wanted to enter another issue. You know, intelligent tutoring systems has three words. Has a word systems that has to do with technologies, has a word tutoring that has to do with education, and has the word intelligence that has to do with artificial intelligence. So my question or my statement is this offer of MDPI to the Journal of Education could be extended to other, let's say, types of journals, simply because our community is very mixed and not everybody would be delighted to have papers on a Journal of Education that are not very much appreciated by the corresponding community.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for kind words.
It's an historical issue that you know better than me.
Yes.
It is definitely.
I don't agree with that, but it is so.
It is, and it's right, as you were able to see the scope also of the journal, and so it's very, very wide. So regarding to your question, actually, about publishing in Education Sciences or another MDPI journal, for this I can say only for field for the education sciences. However, recently MDPI announced or established topics. I'm not sure if you are familiar. So that is like a connection with two journals. So for example, education sciences and some journals similar, so that paper can be published as a, let's say, under umbrella of two journals. So my suggestion would be to have precise, I can hear myself double, okay. So my suggestion would be if you can write to our editorial, email asking about publishing your work in some other journals or something that is related with education sciences.
Mm-hmm. I may add on this, if you can just understand this particular thing, that we are actually now pioneers in this process. We are actually opening new horizons towards education. As you probably know, education is one of the most important, let's say, things in every individual and even global life of everybody. It has to be proactive, it has to be available and comprehensive. And actually, I would like to thank everybody here for acquiring and contributing to the mission of education, as I call it. And we all know that education is building up person's values, it's building up pretty much the quality of the further person's life. So it's an enjoyment to be in this process.
Thank you.
Thank you. We can give the floor to Oleg.
Thank you. I wanted to ask, you often say that our articles should be expanded at least 50%. For those who have short papers accepted, does this mean 50% out of length of the short paper or 50% of full paper length need to be added to make a submission to your journal?
So this is regarding the question and the what we say the offer is regarding the best paper award. So that is what the sponsorship includes. So Mladen, I'm not sure if you have something to add.
I'm asking about the discount offer, the third option.
The discount offer extended is for full papers, approximately
only for 50%. Full papers.
Yeah, but we may acquire additional information with our editorial office and expand this discount. But of course, Milica and I are not authorized to make this decision right now, so we have to check with our managing editors. But I am sure that we can find a joint language, as said, on this particular topic.
Should I write to the email to learn about it?
Yeah, I think that would be a good idea. You can use the editorial emails or Milica or my email that are provided on the end of presentation. It will surely be forwarded to the upper management.
Yeah, because the price is considerable for us, and we consider this only because of the discount. So it's
of course
a sensitive matter.
Understood.
It's understandable.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Karima?
Yes, I am here. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, thank you for your presentation. And I think that my area of interest is aligns with the topics of this journal. But I have some question about this journal, like is the journal is indexed in the Scopus database or no? And what's the value of H index of this journal? And the third question is, the journal have an impact factor or no?
Thank you for your question, Dr. Karima. So yes, journal is indexed in Scopus. From this year, it's on Q2 2.1. Currently, we do not have impact factor, but soon we're growing. We are going towards that, and we will be happy if you can also contribute to our growth.
Yes. Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. I would like again to thank you, the sponsors of ITS 2021. It's a great pleasure to have you here and that you sponsored this year's conference. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you for the invitation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think that we have time for a break, about 1 hour. Am I right?
Thank you, Christos. We hope we're going to see each other live next year.
On behalf of the organizers,
we hope so.
I thank you as well. Thank you very much. We will keep in touch, of course. We have already published the video on the conference website, so everybody can see it. And I wish you all have a good rest for 1 hour until we come back for the next session. Thank you very much.